Rocket Man. I know. Shit, I know. Fucking know. Goddamn. I know. I don't own the rights to the music. Elton don't care. He's already pocketed millions from the shit, so. But yeah, I had to pull one out of the archives today, because, well, I mean, I haven't been going, besides going to Blue Oyster Cult and then Grassroots to wrap up the year. I know I didn't do a Grassroots review this time around. Wasn't a whole lot different from the previous time we seen them, so I'm just not going to do a review on it, guys. I figured I'd pull one out of the archives. It's not too far ago. A little bit over a year. So we're going to do the Elton John review that I haven't done yet. I actually went to this show before I started the show. Went to this concert before I started the show. We still got more rocking to do, bitch. But we're going to do episode 11 for season 2 here. Number 36th episode overall on Elton John here at Allegiant Stadium. November 1st of 2022 was when this concert happened. And it was going to be Elton John's last hurrah. The last city he had to finish up his last North American tour on. And he's calling it quits. He said he's 75 years old. It's time for him to go home and enjoy his family and his money. And that's what he said on stage. So, I understand. His name is Elton John, stage name. His real name is Reginald Kenneth Dwight. Whenever he had to go talk to some record producers, if you watch the movie they did on Elton John, you go watch the record producers, or you go watch the movie, there's a part where he has to go talk to some record producers or record executives, whatever you want to call them, and he comes up with Elton John pretty much on the fly. That's why I have John Lennon out here. He came up with the John part by looking up, and there was a picture of the Beatles, and he just said John. His name is Elton. Looked up John, and that's how he became Elton John. At least if the movie is accurate, that's how it's portrayed. So, and I got Angus up here just because, like the last time I was on, it's a late Christmas present I got, and I'm still in like the newness of the Christmas spirit for the present. So I went ahead and threw Angus back out here again. Like I say, he's got the horns on the hat, because the other Angus doesn't have an A or the horns on the hat. So that's why he's out here. And real quick, like I said, Elton changed his name, and he did that change May 7th of 72. So, before I get too deep into it, we still got more rockin' to do, bitch. Cha. Yeah, all right. So we are here at Allegiant Stadium. From what I've seen online, there was over 50,000 people there at the show. So it was a big crowd. I remember there was a very big crowd. And a lot of people don't park at Allegiant Stadium because there's not a whole lot of parking there. A lot of people park at like Mandalay Bay and walk across because they shut down the highway on this certain part. The police do. And pretty much people will walk from Mandalay Bay. There's like a walkway that leads right from Mandalay Bay right to the stadium. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that know about that walk. And if you've been to a concert at Mandalay Bay, or a concert that's going to be at Allegiant Stadium, or if you've been to a football game, whatever the case, there's a good chance you probably parked at Mandalay Bay if you had a car yourself, or if you were riding with somebody. So it was his 469th concert that Elton John was doing in Vegas. Between all his residencies, his one-offs, 469th show in Vegas. He did say Vegas was his favorite American city as well. So I love that. That's cool. But like I said, the man played here 469 times. That's a lot. That's just one area, you know what I mean? So that's a lot. So Elton John, he's been doing it since the very early 70s. Some would even say late 60s. depending on when you discovered them. And there's three men I want to mention real quick that have been with Elton for a very long time. So I want to mention Davy Johnstone and Ray Cooper, a guitarist and a true percussionist that joined up with Elton early February of 1972. And then there's another man that's even been with him even longer. His name is Nigel Olsson. His drummer, Nigel Olsson, was signed up with Elton April 20th of 1970, which, hey, 420 of 1970, so that's kind of cool. And at the time of this show, had been with Elton 52 years, which, wow, that's a good stint. But these three men here, being with Elton John, have never been probably hurting for work. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they have, as long as they've taken care of their finances, they're all three probably pretty set. So I wanted to give them a little shout out just because you don't hear about these guys in the band so much. If you talk about Elton John, you hear about Elton John. You see Elton John, you know Elton John. But you don't hear about some of the guys that are behind him that help him actually. I don't know how much they help with the songs, but I'm sure they have some musical input on the song. I'm sure sometimes they've even thrown in some words and maybe like, what about this, Elton? Maybe we try this word, Maybe they had a better line for a song and Elton's like, you know what, chap? That's pretty goddamn good. Oh, thank you, we'll use that. My English accent's not good, sorry. It's not as good as my Russian accent, right? Anyway, let's get to the set list. Allegiant Stadium, real quick before I get too deep into the set list. Allegiant Stadium, biggest indoor venue in Vegas. It's huge. Just a real quick concert tip. If you're going to go to Allegiant Stadium, try to sit down in the second, first, or the floor. You want to sit in the second bowl, the first bowl, or be on the floor. It's such a big venue. If you don't know the band very well and you only know the songs half-ass, if you get up into the higher seats, you're not going to understand. Sometimes you get that echoey effect of sound there. I'm sorry, but it's almost too big for music. Or what they need to do is start figuring a way to pipe in more speakers throughout to get the sound bigger to the other areas, because it's a big... I caught you, Johnny. It's such a big area. I mean, it was meant for Raiders football. They hold big concerts there, but it's huge. It really is huge. And I'm just trying to give you a concert tip. If you ever go there, you want to spend money to hear the band. I don't care about seeing them so much. Like I don't have to be so close. I got to see what their shirt says and stuff. I want to make sure I hear them well. That's the most important for me. There's maybe sometimes where I'm jamming, I'm standing up jamming, and there may be a 6'6" dude right in front of me. I'm probably not going to get to see the band very well, but I want to be able to hear them very well. You know what I mean? I can't make that guy in front of me shorter. He just being that tall. That's not his fault. But so I may not be able to see him, but I gotta be able to hear them so I can keep rocking. So I know what I'm rocking to and not be like, what the... No, man. So, like I said, second bowl, first bowl. If you're gonna do the third bowl, you want to be as close to the stage as possible because you're gonna be higher up, and you want to get less of that echo effect. So you want to be closer to the stage. You don't want to be at the very far back of the stadium and in the third bowl. It's going to be tough for you to hear it well. But like I said, if you know the songs of the bands you're going to see, like really know the songs, it makes it easier. It makes it better. So just a couple of concert tips right there. All right, into the set list. Sorry. Benny and the Jets right away. Bam. Good old rockin' Elton John tune. Into Philadelphia Freedom. He did another thing. He gets into the 80s where I guess that's why they call it the blues. And then an old Aretha Franklin tribute, because Aretha Franklin died not too long before this concert. So he did a song called The Border Song, because apparently that was Aretha's favorite song that Elton sung, was The Border Song. So he did that one. And he does Tiny Dancer, Have Mercy on the Criminal. And then, of course, he does the song for the shirt I'm wearing, Rocket Man. I am Rock It Man, like Rickit. He was the Rocket Man. Rocket Man, that's him. And then the next song he does is Take Me to the Pilot. A real emotional song that he sung and that he wrote a long time ago called Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Very good, piano-driven Elton John classic tune. It's not going to be like a faster paced tune. It is kind of like a rock ballad, I call it. I'd say it's definitely a rock ballad just because it's so slow. But it's a fucking powerful song, man. You listen to his lyrics in the song, and Elton always has great vocals. So it was awesome to hear him do this song. He does Leave On, Candle in the Wind, of course, which was the Marilyn Monroe bass tune. And then he even made it a hit later on years ago. Goodbye English Rose. Made it number one again. So it was, that was a great song that he sung back in the day. And like I said, it carried on through the years. It's one of those songs that won't be forgotten even 50 years after Elton's gone. They'll still be playing that song. So then you got Funeral for a Friend / Love Lies Bleeding. The very first song off the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album, which was the last tour that he did, was called Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. It's a very cool song. One of his longest, if not his longest studio song that he ever had. I could be wrong, but I think that is his longest studio song. But like I said, he's got a lot of studio songs. I might be wrong about that, but I could be right. So if you want to call me on it, go ahead and check it out for me. Get back with me. Like I said, I just like to start some conversations here and there about the rock and roll and stuff. So, yeah. And then we got to go into song 13, Burn Down the Mission. And then an 80s classic Elton sad song, Say So Much. Not really one of my favorite Elton tunes, but it is a popular tune amongst his fan base. Like I said, it's not bad. I like it better as an adult than what I did as a kid growing up watching the video on MTV. So, the next song, another song that's kind of one of his, kind of a rock ballad, emotional song. Sorry seems to be the hardest word. The chorus is awesome in it. All the lyrics, it's a well-wrote song. Like I said, once again, his vocals are on like they always were. Great song. Like I said, I don't mind sometimes getting a little slower and just really listening to the words and kind of feeling the emotions of the words and stuff. And Elton John can bring those out and definitely in you. So then he does Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. And then the next song he kind of picks it up, get you a little moving with the sorry, God damn it, sorry, John. Then he gets you moving with big talking bitches back. So he does bitches back, which is cool. And then he keeps the pace going. I'm Still Standing, which was like an early 80s tune, kind of like a comeback tune for him because you hadn't heard from Elton for a couple of years, and all of a sudden he's come back with this song, I'm Still Standing. And yeah, it gets it. I like that song. I liked that song when I was a little kid, back when I first got to see MTV in '83, because that was when my parents finally got the old cable box. And we discovered this thing, like, what, they got done this thing? What? A channel that plays videos all the time? Because back in the day, that's what the music television / MTV channel was all about. They did this thing. It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. They played music on music television. I know. It blows my fucking mind, too. I'm like, whoa, music on the music television channel? They used to do that. Anyway, all right. So after I'm Still Standing, they do, Keep the Pace Going, Crocodile Rock, Saturday Nights, All Right for Fighting, and that finishes up the set. But then, of course, Elton's not going to he's not just going to wrap it up with 20 songs, especially like that. He's still got a few more bullets in the chamber, so to speak. So, of course, he comes back out. not one, but not two, but three song encore. So you get the trifecta encore from Elton, which is always cool. Cold Heart. That was the first one he comes out with. And he does kind of the first song, kind of the song that put him on the map. It's called Your Song. I believe it was the first single he ever released. And it kind of became like I said, kind of got people's attention, kind of hear people are like, what is this all about? A little slower tune, but the lyrics are really nice. And once again, his voice is spot on. He plays the piano so fucking brilliantly. And his band has always been tight as far as he's always had many, he's had a lot of musicians throughout the years because he keeps a lot of people he carried with him. But he, they still play and they were always good. And no matter who he had behind him, they were always talented and can do their job very well. So they did, like I said, Cold Heart, Your Song, and then finish up the set, finish up the tour in North America, finish up the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road tour with the song Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which has been one of my favorite Elton John tunes since I was a little boy. I couldn't tell you when I first heard it. That song's been around longer than I have been. But all I remember was I could always tell you that Elton John did Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, even as a small child. I may not have known how much other stuff he did, but I always knew he did that one. That was always one of my favorite tunes. It's almost one of them tunes you wish he would have added another verse or two in there, because it's almost one of those songs that's just too short, and it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful tune. So yeah, check out these songs on YouTube if you don't know anything about Elton John. I feel very sorry for you. I'm not saying you got to listen to the Lion King soundtrack. He did that. But I'm not just saying, don't have to do that. Listen to his regular stuff that he did for albums, And Elton rocked, man. He really did rock the house, man. And these guys are trying to commit some kind of craziness here. I'm trying to save them from themselves. They keep getting a little crazy. They're a little shaky. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. It's been fun. We're going to be going to some shows real soon. Once we get going into the new year, we're going to have a lot of shows going on. I will. A little slow start to the year. I just came back yesterday, very late last night, actually. Early this morning, you could probably even say. From an Illinois trip to visit family and friends. I finally got to meet my brand new granddaughter who was born November 1st of 23. Thea Rain, little shout out to you, little one. You're such a beautiful little baby. And I also love my other grandbabies. Well, Rose is 5. Silas is almost 3. But I got to spend some time with my grandkids, all 3 of them, which was very nice. Got to spend time with a lot of family members, which was good. I needed that. And we did a little late Christmas celebration with the family and stuff. And I just shit on myself. But anyway, let's get out of here. I'll talk to y'all later on. Y'all be good. And I'll see you next Tuesday. And remember, we still got a lot more rocking to do, bitch. Trust me on that one. And remember, if you do one thing in this life, night-night, keep that bubble tight. Use grease.